But the Democrats are loving it, and that means the news media is loving it, and they're making hay out of it. And they're like, oh no, they think the government has been weaponized, which is almost laugh out loud hilarious. The people that turned the IRS on Tea Party groups and patriot groups and had to pay millions of dollars in damages and they
call parents at school board meetings.
The CIA, the FBI, the Justice Department used against their political enemies, and now John Bolton, and this is a weird one, I've got to say, but now suddenly the Democrats are outraged, like, oh no, using the government. No sense of irony, these people. Am I right, Patrice?
You're right, Chris. Have a good weekend.
Thanks,
have a good show.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 9. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. The FBI is searching the Bethesda home of former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton as part of an investigation into the handling of classified documents. Bolton has not been charged with any crimes. But FBI Director Kash Patel says cryptically online, no one is above the law. Bolton, who is now a vocal Trump critic, posted on X this morning essentially that Russia and Ukraine will never reach a peace deal, but adds that, quote, meetings will continue because Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize.
Doing an amazing job, and we appreciate it. And the numbers are down like we wouldn't believe, but we believe it.
President Trump throwing a burger and pizza party for officers and National Guard troops in Anacostia last night. Local officials not celebrating.
Mayor Muriel Bowser says Trump's real aim is a show of force, arguing there's been no spike in crime to respond to. As congressional Republicans welcome similar efforts in their home states, Maryland Governor Wes Moore says he won't be authorizing the National Guard to deploy in his state for what he calls a publicity stunt. But he called on Trump to join him in a public safety walk next month in a neighborhood affected by crime.
Fox News' Jackie Heinrich. All of these arrests put a further burden on the D.C. court system, which is already chronically short of prosecutors. But now the Pentagon is stepping up to help, sending 20 of its own lawyers to assist the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C.
There's only so many hours in a day, and so I think it makes sense to bring in JAG attorneys, military lawyers who've got, significant trial experience.
Former federal prosecutor John Fishwick telling 7 News there will be a learning curve, but he thinks the lawyers can get up to speed in pretty short order. We told you earlier this week of a crash on Capitol Hill involving an armored D.C. National Guard vehicle and a civilian SUV, one that trapped the SUV driver until firefighters could get the driver out to be treated for a minor injury. Now we're hearing the driver of the armored truck has been ticketed for running a red light. The truck involved in the crash weighs 14 tons and was built for combat, with small reinforced windows that trade more protection against blasts for less visibility for the driver to see what's going on. Tense moments last night outside of the Arlington School Board where transgender student bathroom access was the hot topic.
Republican Virginia Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earl-Sears signed up to speak, and she blasted the school board's locker room rules.
Here's the truth. There are two sexes, boys and girls.
Some backed Earl-Sears' position.
Please restore APS restroom and locker room access to biological males and females.
Others pleaded with the school board to keep its current policy.
All students have a right to feel safe and valued at school.
7 News' Nick Minock reporting the Arlington board says it will not change its policy to conform with federal guidelines. The Salvadoran national who spent more than a decade living illegally in Maryland may return there as soon as today. But for how long?
A judge may order the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from a Tennessee jail today. He's being held as he waits to be tried on federal human smuggling charges. He's the man deported to El Salvador earlier this year. He was returned to the U.S. when officials found he'd been stopped while driving a vehicle with 9 passengers. That's when he got hit by a human smuggling charge. Now he's supposed to wait for his trial at his home in Maryland, but ICE may deport him again. Jill Nato, Fox News.
The Dow Futures up 143 points, NASDAQ Futures up 33. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
Here's a brief message from industry. This ad is brought to you by GSK. We invite you to visit hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com to explore data and resources. That's hcp-myelofibrosis-treatment.com.
Thanks for listening to the message from industry. At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
The feeling of just showered freshness can't be beat. With Downy Intense, bursts of just showered freshness can accompany you throughout the day. Really? Yep. Downy Intense's touch-activated technology releases bursts of clean, fresh aromas, so you can enjoy the feeling of just showered freshness. New Downy Intense. An incredible freshness experience awaits.
Steve Hirshorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Now we head over to College Park, Maryland. The ramp from the inner loop of the Beltway to go north on I-95 is closed because of the ongoing cleanup of a tractor-trailer accident that happened very early this morning. That ramp is blocked until further notice in delays from New Hampshire Avenue. Outer loop of the Beltway, still very heavy and slow from River Road to the George Washington Parkway 270 spur in delays from Democracy Boulevard down to the Beltway. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
A fantastic Friday forecast for you with mostly sunny skies and warmer afternoon highs in the lower 80s with low humidity. It should be great for anything outdoors. A repeat performance tomorrow. Sunday will be a little bit more humid with a bit of added cloud cover and just an isolated.
I was outside.
I'm 7 News meteorologist Eileen Whalen.
73 at Reagan National.
Picking things up. Hi, Charlie.
WMAL.
Morning.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL.
This shit's happening. I'll be sitting on my front porch.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be with you. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and gals doing an amazing job, and we appreciate it. The numbers are down like we wouldn't believe, but we believe it.
It was a little bit hyperbolic. Numbers are down, crime numbers in Washington, D.C., like you wouldn't believe. But we believe it. Because, we have the numbers. We have the numbers right here. Got the police right here. Don't believe me? Ask them.
How can you trigger somebody when you block them?
You fight crime, they fight you. They are the anti-missile missile.
Wow.
Are they the anti-missile missile? Whatever they are, they're fighting in favor of more crime and criminals. They love crime and criminals. And we've got a wild story popping this morning. Now, former Ambassador John Bolton, National Security Advisor to President Trump, first time around, who wrote a book about his adventures in government in the first Trump administration. FBI raiding his home today and his office. And John Bolton being marched out of his own home. It is something to see. The entirety of the American cable sphere is all over it, like something really big has happened here. And it is, unexpected, I've got to say, out of the blue. And John Bolton, we've already got Democrat Senator Chris Coons saying the arrest of a Republican by a Republican administration is chilling. It's chilling. Now, I guess maybe he's afraid that Democrat administrations might have to arrest Democrats if they break the law and have classified documents and use classified material and books. And they couldn't do that because all of them would be in penitentiaries for decades. Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton, there'd have to be a pre-dawn raid on her house and she'd be dragged out in handcuffs. Maybe that's why it's chilling to Democrat Senator Chris Coons. So we've got that, but it is quite wild. And the FBI Director Kash Patel saying no one is above the law, posting on social media on X or Truth Social. FBI raids former National Security Advisor John Bolton's home in Probe. It's a probe. You know how in Washington they love probes, especially ever-expanding probes. in probe to find classified records. In a post on X early Friday, FBI Director Kash Patel wrote, "No one is above the law." And the words "no" and "one" are in all capital letters to emphasize, you see. The FBI raided former National Security Advisor John Bolton's home in Bethesda, Maryland. That's in Montgomery County. Very, very left-wing, but conveniently situated to Washington, D.C. if you're working in government or in Washington, D.C. and in other areas. So the home in Bethesda, Maryland on Friday as part of a national security investigation in search of classified records. A source familiar with the matter confirmed to NBC News. That's always an anonymous source when they say a source, you know. In a statement, NBC Fake News, an FBI official said the FBI is conducting court-authorized activity in the area. There is no threat to public safety. Well, why would there be a threat to public safety? I can't imagine why there would be a threat to public safety. The agency declined to comment further on the raid. Bolton did not immediately respond to NBC Fake News request for comment, nor would I expect him to. We might expect he will hold a press conference or perhaps an attorney representing him, because now, if nothing, I heard this morning on some media, they're already talking about bankrupting him. Hey, even if he doesn't get it, at least have to spend $1 million and will bankrupt him defending himself against the federal government. Now, what's this about? The left is already saying, well, Trump has a grudge, and that's why. Well, man, you guys, it's very alien and foreign to the Democrats because, during Democrat administrations, the corrupt FBI, the corrupt Justice Department, the corrupt intelligence organizations as well, they never target their own. It's completely alien to them. It's always their political enemies, which would be most of America, of course, their political enemies. Isn't that amazing? In a post, no one is above the law. And Attorney General Pam Bondi, an FBI director, Deputy Director Dan Bongino also appeared to refer to the raid in a post or multiple posts on X. America's safety isn't negotiable. Justice will be pursued always, Pam Bondi wrote early Friday. Public corruption will not be tolerated, Bongino wrote. The New York Post was the first to report the news of the raid because they cover the news. And NBC Fake News, of course, does not. They're just a front group for the Democrat Party. But Bolton served during 2 Republican administrations, first as ambassador to the United Nations during the George W. Bush administration, and later as national security advisor to President Donald Trump for about 1.5 years in his first term. Now, a lot going on there. Trump and Bolton did not part ways amicably with the president in 2019, claiming he fired Bolton, and Bolton claiming that he offered to resign after a disagreement. Not a lot of daylight between those two, but never mind that. That's the news media looking for anything to latch onto, like the sharp-toothed, rabid rodents that they are. There. Despite his work in the first Trump administration, Bolton has emerged as a fierce critic of Trump after he left office the first time in 2021, even penning a 2020 memoir. That's a book about his time in the administration. It's a memoir. They like dossier and memoir. They all want to be French, except when it comes to election day. Then they don't want to be French. Earlier this year, just several days into the second Trump administration, the president canceled Bolton's Secret Service detail, despite the fact that Bolton was the target of an alleged murder for hire scheme by a member of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. And more recently, Bolton has been critical of Trump's foreign policy, questioning his decision to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin earlier this month, and blasting members of the Trump administration earlier this year for using signal group chat rather than secure government channels to discuss upcoming military strikes. That was, you remember, they accidentally invited a reporter, and you can't do that. You might as well have a Chinese secret agent named Fang Fang in on your call if you've got pretty much any Washington reporter anywhere near what you're talking about. You know how they are. Just amazing stuff. So in 2022, Bolton even said he was seriously considering running for president in the Republican primary to prevent Trump from winning another term. Now what this is all about behind the curtain, I cannot say. I think that it is political fodder for the Democrats, and the Democrats will receive this as the political fodder that it is, and they will make as much hay out of it as possible by whatever means necessary. And Senator Chris Coons, again, he's no friend of America, no friend of the truth. He's just another Democrat senator, and you can't believe a damn word he says, but Senator Chris Coons out there because he's an angry Democrat, and they invited him to come on CNN naturally. And hey, we don't even know what we're going to complain about, what kind of anti-Trump topics we'll have. But Senator Coons, will you come in and trash Trump this Friday morning, whatever the cause may be? And he said, yeah, sure, of course I will.
Well, Kate, the timing of this is chilling. As you said in your introduction, it is court authorized, and it is alleged to be related to a national security investigation. But it's important for your viewers to remember the context here. John Bolton served as national security advisor in the first Trump term.
Yeah.
After that Trump term, he wrote a book entitled The Room Where It Happened, where he said a lot of unflattering things about Donald Trump.
Yeah, and this guy, Coons, is from Joe Biden's Delaware, which is owned and operated by corporate entities that have been buying and selling Delaware politicians for generations now. And Chris Coons is just a Democrat talking head that CNN invited on to be a Democrat talking head to slander, smear. He doesn't have to know what he's talking about. But the anchor never says, well, the Biden administration never launched a raid of a Democrat anywhere. The Obama administration never launched a raid of a Democrat anywhere. Senator Coons, do you think that it's appropriate that a Republican administration using the FBI to crack down on somebody who used to work for him because of a classified documents investigation? And I seem to remember the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago, and Donald Trump was living there at the time. His luxurious multi-million dollar, hundreds of millions of dollars estate in Palm Beach, Florida. And they brought with them the classified document cover sheets, which the FBI laid out over stacks of documents that they piled up, the FBI piled up, after rummaging through Melania Trump's underwear drawers. And then they stacked up the papers with the classified document cover sheets that the FBI brought with them. And then they photographed them themselves, and then they provided them to the media. Now, nobody at CNN is ever going to ask any of that because nobody at CNN follows the news. They don't know what happened then. And Senator Coons, I remember during the Obama administration, used the IRS to target Lois Lerner. Remember Lois Lerner, who got away scot-free, as my mother used to say, scot-free. That might be a slur on the Scottish people. And got away scot-free after just laughing in the face of Congress, Lois Lerner did. They used the IRS to target, during Barack Obama's reelection campaign, to target groups, Tea Party groups, and any group that had the temerity to use the word patriot in their title. They were targeted by Barack Obama's IRS to keep them on the sidelines during the Democrat Party's reelection effort for Barack Obama. And sure enough, it worked. All of these conservative groups were sidelined by the IRS. Barack Obama won re-election, and then the Tea Party groups and the Patriot groups sued the IRS and the federal government and won and got millions of dollars. But it was too late then because the Democrats had already stolen power. It's how they do everything. They're the Democrats. So we do have this going on, and it's a remarkable development this morning, the John Bolton FBI raid and arrest. Just amazing stuff. And it's unfolding as we breathe, as we live and breathe. And I'm going to keep you up to date on this as we progress for the next 3 hours today. Also, President Trump yesterday went down and visited D.C. Police and National Guard. You know, day before yesterday, we had the Vice President and the Secretary of Defense, J.D. Vance, and Pete Hegseth go to Union Station, the big train station in Washington, D.C. by the U.S. Capitol, and visit with National Guard troops and bring them burgers and stuff like that and hang out with them and have a good time. Well, crazy, mentally ill Democrats screamed vulgarities in their eyes. They're bulged out of their heads with their red veins protruding through their retinas. The Democrats screaming and yelling like lunatics. And President Trump yesterday went to the Park Police headquarters where he met with D.C. Police, U.S. Park Police, National Guard, and he talked to them about making Washington safe again. And I got to tell you, I was talking to my best girl last night, and I think I need to nominate Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize for getting crime under control in Washington, D.C., in our nation's capital. How about that? Nobel Peace Prize for bringing peace to Washington, D.C. Have you seen the numbers? We haven't had a single homicide, and this is, going to be a record in a matter of hours. Haven't had a single homicide in Washington, D.C. in more than a week. And unfortunately, that's a shocking stat because normally Democrats are murdering people, a couple of times a week in our little city. And the Democrats say, that's a good number. We should keep that number. The news media representing the Democrat Party, 260 murders in 68 square miles. That's pretty good, don't you think? Yeah, let's try to do that again next year. I honestly think they're invested in mortuaries and coffin makers, the Democrat Party. Like Al-Qaeda used to sing and chant, they love death more than we love life. So President Trump, the headline yesterday, says he'll patrol D.C. with cops, military tonight as part of his crackdown on crime.
Come on, DA. I'll fist fight you. Fucking pound your face in.
And also, Trump's going to fix the grass in Washington, D.C. on the mall and across the city and parks and so on. And he knows more about grass than anyone alive. He said so he has built a lot of golf courses and estates and everything. We are at 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. I'm Steve Hirshhorn. Maryland westbound 50 at the Beltway. It's an overturned tractor trailer. Just the right merge lane is getting by in delays suddenly and intensely from Route 704. Inner loop of the Beltway, the ramp to go north on 95 in College Park is blocked because of the ongoing cleanup of an early morning tractor trailer accident. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Sunny and pleasant today with a high of 84. Clear skies overnight, low 62.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $300 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999. Or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
It's the $100,000 lucky draw at Mohawk Casino. Are you ready to make a match and win big?
From July 1st through August 23rd, earn your weekly quick pick number every Monday or Tuesday when you earn just 100 points. Then come back for Saturday night drawings July 12th, 26th, and August 9th and 23rd for your shot at up to $100,000 cash. Match all 6 numbers to win the grand prize or win slot play starting with just one match. It's the $100,000 lucky draw, only at Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, your everyday escape.
And we are back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get it Wi-Fi.
Yes, we need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And just like you, he relies on Grainger to help. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
WMAL, making sense of party politics, because somebody's got to hold their feet to the fire. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Boy, there's always a lot going on. A lot going on in Washington, D.C. and Donald Trump's America. Outside of John Bolton's home in Bethesda, Maryland this morning while the FBI was raiding, there is a man wearing a T-shirt that says, "Trump is a national disgrace," standing in front of FBI vehicles, it looks like, in the driveway of John Bolton in Bethesda, Maryland, while the FBI raid is taking place. And our great friend Vince Coglianese, going back and forth this morning, sent a message along. Says Vince Coglianese says, from a source familiar with this morning's raid on Bolton's home, quoting now, "This is related to a national security investigation of Mr. Bolton that was shut down by the Biden administration for political reasons." Now, square that. How does that make sense? It can. It could. I've got that coming up. It involves stealing classified documents and weaponizing them for political purposes. Kash Patel and Dan Bongino have reopened the investigation, hence this morning's raid. That is a quote Vince Coglianese providing on X this morning. Source says Bolton wasn't detained, but he's fully expected to be charged. And the New York Post also has a story on this morning. They're a newspaper reporting the news, unlike the New York Times or the Washington Post. And they've got Patel's FBI raids John Bolton's home in high-profile national security probe. And FBI agents raided the D.C. area home of President Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, Friday morning in a high-profile national security probe. There's that word, probe. It always makes me laugh a little when I don't know, ever-expanding probe. The New York Post can exclusively reveal, and Vince Colonnese too, federal agents went to Bolton's house in Bethesda, Maryland at 7 a.m. in an investigation ordered by FBI Director Kash Patel, a Trump administration official told the New York Post. Investigators were also en route to search his office Friday morning. And next door neighbor or a friend or a somebody with the anti-Trump T-shirt in his driveway, Trump is a national disgrace. We're living at a very unusual time in America. President Trump was very busy yesterday. More coming up.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. I'm Steve Hirschhorn. Inner loop of the Beltway, very heavy. So now from University Boulevard to 95 in College Park. The ramp from the inner loop to go north on 95 is blocked now to clean up an earlier tractor-trailer accident. Happened very early this morning, still closed. Westbound 50, inbound 50 at the Beltway. An overturned tractor-trailer, only the right merge lane is getting by. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwater 7 forecast.
Sunny and pleasant today with a high of 84. Clear skies overnight, low 62. Life is unpredictable, but preparing for the unexpected shouldn't be. Take ownership of your life planning with Policy Genius to help your loved ones have a financial safety net in case something happens to you. They offer life insurance policies starting at just $276 a year for $1 million in coverage. Don't wait for life to make other plans. Protect your family today. Head to PolicyGenius.com. That's PolicyGenius.com.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems, like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. You now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Too fast, Trevor, too fast!
Here at the Zebra, research shows people would rather teach their kids to drive than search for auto and home insurance.
I know what I'm doing, Mom.
Or attend a corporate team building workshop.
Go team, feel that synergy.
Or be regaled by Uncle Frank's conspiracy theories. They're listening to us right now. That's why the Zebra searches for you, comparing over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Compare today at thezebra.com. We do the searching, you do the saving.
If you're managing your family's back-to-school schedule across multiple calendars and sticky notes, I have a game-changing idea for you. Put it all in a Skylight calendar. Skylight is a smart touchscreen calendar that brings visual structure and color coding to your family's schedules, tasks, and lists all in one sleek digital display. Right now, Skylight is offering $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/talk. That's SKYLIGHTCAL.com/talk for $30 off your 15-inch calendar.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $200 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
It's the $100,000 Lucky Draw at Mohawk Casino. Are you ready to make a match and win big? From July 1st through August 23rd, earn your weekly quick pick number every Monday or Tuesday when you earn just 100 points. Then come back for Saturday night drawings July 12th, 26th, and August 9th and 23rd for your shot at up to $100,000 cash. Match all 6 numbers to win the grand prize or win slot play starting with just one match. It's the $100,000 Lucky Draw, only at Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, your everyday escape.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on Ottawa Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
I've got to say, I don't have.
Wiggin been making fun of my weed, him and Randy.
John Bolton's home.
This is good weed. Look at how that fucker, look at the resin.
The raid took place.
You'd think my fucking face would be all that color.
And CNN cameras, which
would be if I smoked cigarettes.
People, they staged and orchestrated their raids, and the Biden people. Obama's really in charge, of course, behind the curtain on everything.
Look at that fucker.
Biden allegedly did. But they brought.
So I'm sitting on my porch outside, fucking nice
for the Roger
day.
Stone pre-dawn raid. Right, there's so many raids because they raided James O'Keefe, his home and his office. The Democrats, they use and abuse the FBI and the federal government, the Justice Department, the intelligence agencies, the FISA courts. They abuse every part of the government, all the courts they abuse everywhere. But CNN was there for the raid on Roger Stone at pre-dawn. And I think didn't they march him out in his underwear and stuff? CNN captured video of the Roger Stone raid. They just happened to be staking out Roger Stone's home every morning before the sun came up, just in case something interesting happened. That's what CNN lied. That was their lie. And they were clearly lying. Pretty amazing stuff, pretty appalling. But there was no FBI crew, no Newsmax crew in tow, no Fox News crew in tow when the raid took place this morning at the home of Roger Stone and apparently the office of Roger Stone as well. The New York Post is on the case, and they report, as Vince Colonnese did as well, that John Bolton has not been arrested and is not charged right now, but we are expecting that John Bolton will be charged, and has to do with according to the New York Post, the related investigation began in 2020 at the end of the first Trump administration. According to the official, the same year Trump's first Justice Department launched a criminal inquiry into Bolton's alleged disclosure of national secrets in his book, The Room Where It Happened. That's the name of the book, The Room Where It Happened. And he had been accused of disclosing national security secrets in the book called The Room Where It Happened, and that could be illegal. That investigation came after President Trump fought to quash its publication over its inclusion of national secrets, saying that Bolton broke the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement, signed as a condition of his employment, as you might when you have security clearances, and you might be seeing secured information and documents and so on. Trump was ultimately unsuccessful in quashing the book. The book went to print in 2020. The FBI suspects that former President Joe Biden's Justice Department shut down the Bolton probe. They say it was politically motivated, you see, according to the official speaking to the New York Post. The ex-Trump advisor, John Bolton, has been at odds with his old boss since leaving the first administration, regularly appearing on cable news criticizing the president's national security and foreign policy. Bolton's X account blasted out a message at 7:32 a.m. criticizing Trump's approach to Russia's war on Ukraine as FBI agents were inside his home. That's kind of, a little obsessed with your Twitter account, your X account. The FBI's in your house, raiding your house, and you're tweeting about unrelated things. That's a little too attached to your Twitter account, I think. It was unclear whether it was a scheduled post, but this is an interesting set of circumstances, that's for sure, and one we probably haven't seen before, once again. Meanwhile, meetings will continue because Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize, John Bolton said, but I don't see these talks making any progress, he says. Now, pretty men. Now, what you're out there saying that for whatever reason. I don't understand people that engage in this sort of stupidity, but I'm I'm less political than a lot of these people, truth be told. Funny thing. And he's Bolton's account putting out messages while the FBI is in his home, roaming around, pulling out drawers and looking at underwear and things like that. Presumably, I can only assume. All right, but John Bolton is out there saying Russia has not changed its goal, drag Ukraine into a new Russian empire. I think that's true. Moscow has demanded that Ukraine cede territory it already holds. Yeah, that's what conquering places with your military is all about. And the remainder of Donetsk. I want to go see Donetsk. It must be a very nice place. Everybody seems to want it very much, which it has been unable to conquer. Zelensky will never do so. Now, thanks for all your input, John Bolton, but I'm not sure what good that does anybody. And he's tweeting that out while the FBI is raiding his house. Pretty wild. So they raided his home in Bethesda, Maryland, reportedly raiding his office as well. Has to do with inappropriate use, perhaps presumably illegal use of classified information, classified documents. And that's pretty wackadoodle-doo stuff, I've got to say. It really is. There's a lot of other news going that I want to get to today as well, because it's not just that, of course. We've got the Democrats who love transgender children. They love the genital mutilation of children. That's a Democrat Party area. We used to condemn that sort of lunacy when it was happening in Burkina Faso. But now the Democrat Party has brought child genital mutilation to the center of American cultural life. And the Democrats are the ones engaging in child genital mutilation. In the meantime, there is a good deal of back and forth going on over Gavin Newsom. He signs off his tweets with GCN, which again sounds like a communicable, transmittable venereal disease. GCN. I think GCN. There is an antibiotic that'll clear that right up. I think GCN. It tends to affect women more than men. GCN. It is, but it's not exactly FDR or JFK. GCN really sounds like a genital disease of some kind, a virus, communicable, sexually transmitted virus. But that's his thing. And in any case, he and his crazy lefties, they give commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens who can't speak English or read street signs. And they say, hey, you should drive 18-wheelers across the country. What's the worst thing that could happen? And the illegal alien making an illegal maneuver, leading to the deaths of 3 Americans in Florida. And Florida's having none of it. What's he called? A deputy governor. That's what I was saying, thinking deputy governor. But he's, the lieutenant governor, of course. of Florida went to California yesterday to grab the illegal alien and bring him back to Florida on a private jet. And they're watching him get off the private jet yesterday in handcuffs in front with ankle shackles, ankle cuffs, so he can't run away real fast and jump over fences and stuff like so many Democrats and other illegal aliens. And they brought him back to Florida. And he's like, hey, I just got a ride on a private jet. Pretty cool. I think it was a Cessna Signature or something, a nice looking private jet. And it's probably his first time flying on a private jet. And it's kind of unfortunate you have to do it in shackles because you're an illegal alien that killed 3 Americans with your bad habits. And this is a direct response of Joe Biden's policies, Democrat policies, then Gavin Newsom's policies, that these 3 people are dead in Florida, 100% on Joe Biden and Gavin Newsom, and they should be sued into oblivion personally, and the state of California should be sued into, I think they've got to already be bankrupt, right? But the Democrat Party and their policies are bad for civilization, and the Democrat Party is anti-civilization. Just an awful, terrible, un-American party, and not good people either. Just amazing. I got a story, a woman with a TV show mugged in Beverly Hills by 3 men with funny names, but the news media doesn't ask whether they're illegal aliens. I've got that coming up because, mugging comes to Beverly Hills, and some people don't like it. The Democrats do like it. They think it's fashionable. Speaking of Democrats, Eric Menendez denied parole by the California Parole Board yesterday, which is a little bit ironic considering they granted parole to Sirhan Sirhan a couple of years ago. They're still waiting for Gavin Newsom for GCN to sign the paper to let Sirhan Sirhan loose, which would probably not be comforting to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I'm guessing. But we've got that going on. Yes, sir. And there are headlines now. The Daily Caller, for example, talking about Gavin Newsom and his love affair with illegal aliens that's killing people. The Florida Attorney General talks about holding California accountable for the deadly driver and the 3 people killed in Florida. The blood is 100% on the hands of the Democrat Party, as the blood of so many other Americans is on the hands of the Democrat Party, like Rachel Morin, the mother of 5, murdered by an illegal alien gang member after being raped by the illegal alien gang member while she was walking in her neighborhood in Maryland, in a suburban neighborhood. And the Democrats are fine with that, and that means the news media is fine with it. Just amazing stuff. And Democrats showing up at a Winsome Sears rally. Winsome Sears, the lieutenant governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, running for governor. And Democrats showed up to support transgender child genital mutilation because the Democrats don't like children or people. They're not on our side. And perhaps our last World War II flying ace dies at the age of 103. I want to get to that, too. Pretty cool. He was a Hellcat pilot, too. Let's go to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Mike, calling from Wilmington, North Carolina. Michael, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris. Been a long time.
Hey, Mike. Welcome.
I just wanted to ask you something. Do you think FBI Director Kash Patel got a separate warrant for John Bolton's mustache?
Separate warrant.
He could hide
a lot of documents in his mustache, you think? That's true. It does provide a certain amount of cover. I think probably the general warrant for the home and the office covers the mustache as well.
Okay, well, you touched on Trump refurbishing the mall and all the grass there.
Yes.
In a past life, I worked as a groundskeeper at a golf course, and I would say that he really does know what he's doing. He probably knows more about grass than Jerry Garcia.
That is Jerry Garcia. It's a little Grateful Dead reference. Jerry Garcia, famous not only for LSD, but for smoking a lot of pot, too, because the Grateful Dead, it's a Grateful Dead concert. You ever been to a Dead show, Mike?
I have not.
Have not been to a TED show.
I have not. I have not been to one. I dated someone that went to them all the time, and that explains why we're not together anymore.
The LSD and the smoke of the pot and stuff, because it's all part of the
she was
Grateful Dead
just
thing.
like, very transient, loved to travel, and it just didn't jive with our lifestyles,
I've been to a couple of
anyway,
Grateful Dead shows. I went to a hilarious Grateful Dead show at the Ventura Speedway in Ventura, California one time, and it would be fair to say there was a lot of LSD going on at this Grateful Dead show. And I noticed a number of police. There were police there, as you might expect, inside the Speedway, and they were all hanging out together. And I believe it was Ventura County police officers, and they had gathered together, and they were howling with laughter. They were having the time of their lives. Pointing, they were like, look at that one, and pointing at, a guy or a woman over in the crowd, and they were howling, doubled over in laughter, having the time of their lives at the Grateful Dead show at the Ventura Speedway. When was that? It was probably 1983 or somewhere in that neighborhood, and it was pretty funny.
That reminds me of something.
What's that?
In the early 80s, me and my brother went to see a concert in Fayetteville, North Carolina by a band called Judas Priest.
Sure.
They were a heavy metal band.
Yeah.
Well, they had a song called Breaking the Law. And we looked around at the sheriff deputies that were at the concert, crowd control. And they were doing much like you described, just laughing it up when they were playing the song Breaking the Law. It always stuck in my mind.
Breaking the law, breaking the law, bump, bump.
Yes, I'll never forget it.
Yeah, it's
man, good talking to you. Enjoy your show.
Well, thank you, Michael. That's great. Wilmington, North Carolina. Mike, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, Judas Priest. We got a little Judas Priest breaking the law for you since you brought it up, Michael. Good stuff. I know a lot of people that were Deadheads over the years. I know people have done well over 100 Dead shows around the country. Friends and college pals and high school friends and people that I worked with over the years too. Some Deadheads work regular jobs and things. Kind of fun call, Mike. Yeah, and refurbishing the grass. Yeah, that's coming up. We've got audio for you on President Trump talking about that too. Thank you, Michael.
You're listening to the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. I'm Steve Birchhorn. On the inner loop at the Beltway, still pretty slow. Granite Road to the Gallows Road. And then the inner loop is pretty slow from the toll road. The construction set up on the Maryland side of the American Legion Bridge along the left. Outer loop accident before University Boulevard is on the right shoulder. Then the outer loop slows from River Road to Georgetown Pike. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Sunny and pleasant today with a high of 84. Clear skies overnight, low 62.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured and SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
What would you do if your online store converted 36% more shoppers? You could take 36% more vacation.
Another pina colada?
Yes, please. Open a new retail location with 36% more square feet.
Fantastic.
Hire 36% more help.
You're hired and you're hired.
Shopify has the world's best converting checkout, up to 36% better than other e-commerce platforms. What you do with those extra sales is up to you. Switch to Shopify today at shopify.com/Westwood1 and get a $1 trial. Shopify.com/Westwood1.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Choosing a new pharmacy isn't easy, but if you need to do so, the employee owners of Kinney Drugs hope you'll choose us. We've been taking care of our local community since 1903 when Bert Kinney opened our first store in Gouverneur, New York. In fact, we're still headquartered there today. Because we're employee owned, we don't answer to Wall Street. We answer to Main Street, the people we serve. And we've made it easy as 1, 2, 3 to transfer your prescriptions. Get started at KinneyDrugs.com or stop by today.
It's the $100,000 lucky draw at Mohawk Casino. Are you ready to make a match and win big? From July 1st through August 23rd, earn your weekly quick pick number every Monday or Tuesday when you earn just 100 points. Then come back for Saturday night drawings July 12th, 26th, and August 9th and 23rd for your shot at up to $100,000 cash. Match all 6 numbers to win the grand prize or win slot play starting with just one match. It's the $100,000 lucky draw only at Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, your everyday escape.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meter beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels, or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Chris Plant here, inviting you to join us next July on our Mediterranean Listener Sea Cruise. Early booking sale pricing ends August 30th. Visit ChrisPlantCruise.com. We won't get fooled again. Now this is something fun and I think fitting and appropriate. And I'm going to, Scout Hunter Mike, I'm going to get to President Trump on the grass. And I just looked up all the golf courses he owns around the world. And the idiots in the media are being idiots and attacking him. What does he know about grass? Yeah. Pull another bong and go to your internet, see what you can figure out. But this is a lot of fun this morning. And my friend Brian Doherty sent it along. It's a tweet by Representative Riley M. Moore. Congressman Riley M. Moore puts out a tweet saying this morning, honoring Patrick J. Buchanan. Pat Buchanan, always a riot. The Pat Buchanan chop, his hand, he'd do the chop in the air and bite his lip and laugh. And he was talking about controlling our border and the illegal alien crisis that was coming. He was talking about it back in the 1980s when Ronald Reagan was president, the great Pat Buchanan. And Congressman Riley M. Moore says, honoring Patrick J. Buchanan with the Presidential Medal of Freedom would recognize his role as one of the truest patriots of the past century. And I've got to say, I know Pat Buchanan a bit. I haven't seen him in a while, but I always loved Pat Buchanan. And when I was a newcomer at CNN and in my 20s and Pat Buchanan was there, it was always great to see him and shake his hand. And he'd always say something funny and laugh. and everything that he said that he was making fun of and pointing out decades ago, he was right about everything, decades ahead of everybody else. And pretty great stuff. But Congressman Riley M. Moore said, read more about my letter urging the President of the United States to award the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Patrick J. Buchanan. I think a great idea, Medal of Freedom. And it is about time. And Pat Buchanan, he's not out there skydiving lately, and he's settled in a bit. But I think it'd be great for President Trump to recognize Pat Buchanan, who, again, he saw the border crisis coming from decades away, and he was sounding the alarm way back when, long before anybody else. And that is great. And I think Congressman Riley M. Moore has a fine idea, giving Pat Buchanan the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And I don't think Joe Biden would have done it, but I do think that, and I know that Barack Hussein Obama wouldn't have done it, but I think that President Trump should do that. And the congressman from West Virginia, Riley M. Moore, is onto something here, and I think it's great. I'm with Riley M. Moore on this one, to be sure. Lots and lots of madness going on. The Democrats, they're out there. They got a lot of crazy people, and they've organized their crazy people. You know, it all started, I think, with Occupy Wall Street to organize and orchestrate the mentally ill people of America and the crazy people of America. We just call them Democrats, but they are a menace to all of us.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. The FBI searched the Bethesda home of former National Security Advisor John Bolton on the orders of FBI Director Kash Patel this morning.
A source telling Fox News the search focused on potential classified documents agents believe may still be in the possession of Bolton, who's not in custody or under arrest. Patel posting to X shortly after the raid started, "No one is above the law." A senior U.S. official saying the probe was first launched years ago, but the Biden administration shut it down, quote, for political reasons. The ex-Trump advisor has publicly criticized his former boss over his national security and foreign policy. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
President Trump threatened a complete and total federal takeover of D.C. on social media early today.
That early morning message follows his visit with hundreds of National Guard troops and law enforcement officers last night. He brought pizza and burgers to thank them for what he calls a successful intervention in the nation's capital. And he says this surge is already paying big dividends, and this may go well beyond stepped-up law enforcement. He is promising essentially a makeover for the nation's capital. D.C.'s mayor says crime was already falling before the intervention. This morning on Truth Social, the president called those numbers false and highly inaccurate.
Fox News' Doug Luzader. Areas along the East Coast are still feeling the impact of Hurricane Erin, including Ocean City.
While Erin never made landfall, we still felt its impacts from hundreds of miles away. Today, along the East Coast, beach conditions are expected to remain dangerous. Beach Patrol here told me they want people to remain out of the water as the rip current risk is still high, along with wave heights. Winds have died down as Erin continues east, but coastal flooding during high tides is still something we're keeping an eye on. In Ocean City, Maryland, I am Brandy Campbell for Fox Weather.
Virginia GOP gubernatorial candidate Winsome Earl Sears turned out to express her feelings as the Arlington County School Board reiterated its stand against following the federal standard on transgender bathroom policies.
The school board chair said the board won't give in.
We strongly believe that the diversity of our Arlington school community is one of our greatest strengths.
Outside, Earl Sears told us she came here to advocate for student privacy.
Are you going to have a biological male undressing in the same gym room as you? Full frontal, nude? This is nonsense.
7 News' Nick Minock. None of the 5 Northern Virginia school systems that are on the outs with the Fed say they will give in. A U.S. magistrate judge expected today to order the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from a Tennessee jail while he awaits trial on federal human smuggling charges. Abrego Garcia's attorneys have arranged for a private security firm to return him to Maryland where his family lives. But how long he'll get to spend there is in question because ICE agents could try to to detain and deport Abrego Garcia at any time. The federal judge in Maryland's ordered ICE to give 3 days notice to the court before it takes any action to remove Abrego Garcia. The Dow is up 675 points. The NASDAQ up 285. Traffic and weather next.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Have you discussed treatment options with your patients? Talk to them about Dovato, dolutegravir, and lamivudine. Visit the refreshed DovatoHCP.com to learn more today and to access full prescribing information, including boxed warning. This ad is for U.S. healthcare professionals and brought to you by ViiV Healthcare.
The new pediatric team at Community Health Center of the North Country understands your kids are the most important things in your life, and each one of them is unique in their own way. This means care needs to be personalized for each son or daughter you bring through the doors at our Ogdensburg Health Center. Dr. Sunny Patel, accepting new patients now and providing that personalized pediatric care for every stage of your child's life. Visit chcnorthcountry.org for more information.
You know a safe-ish home security solution when you see one. The stuff that kind of seems like it works, but doesn't. The key under your welcome mat, the security camera that isn't a real camera, the guard dog on duty sign when everyone knows the dog is Mr. Buttons. The thing is, Safe-ish doesn't actually keep you and your home safe, but ADT can help with smart, easy-to-use security you can rely on. Don't settle for Safe-ish. Get ADT.
Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Route 50 in Maryland, westbound, heading toward the Beltway. There was an overturned tractor trailer. Just the right merge lane is getting by. Very heavy and slow from the 704. The ramp from the inner loop to go north on I-95 is closed in College Park because of the ongoing cleanup of a very early morning tractor trailer accident and delays from University Boulevard. Outer loop is still slow New Hampshire Avenue to University Boulevard. 95 southbound and delays from 1 in Woodbridge down to 123 and from Dumfries to Triangle. Now from Garage Door Repair downtown WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
It's sunshine moving through the afternoon. Daytime high 80 to 85 degrees. It's cool overnight. Temperatures tomorrow warm up nicely. In the
That's
80s,
funny.
Lots of sunshine, partly sunny with a chance for storms on Sunday. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rufman, the First Alert Weather Center.
77 in Washington. John Matthews News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Fucking nose is snotty.
105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Here, Wicked, I'll give you a good screenshot. I'm going to blow the snot out of my nose.
Fixing up DC, all new grass, sprinkler systems,
You want some?
monuments, getting rid of the graffiti, and that's what
I'm
people
picking
are
my
like.
nose.
And that's what people are loving. You know, graffiti, more graffiti means more ghetto.
It's sitting out in that fucking
Nothing
pollen.
says ghetto like covering everything in your neighborhood with graffiti. Very third world. All done by Democrats. It's
All
always
clean.
Democrats. They love to destroy everything they touch. They're the left. They're not liberals. They haven't made anything better in a long, long, long time. Well, very happy and good Friday to you. Welcome back. We've got a great deal going on. A lot of moving parts this morning. From John Bolton to the Dow Jones Industrials and the Federal Reserve and child genital mutilation. Democrats love it. Normal people don't.
All right. Minor technical difficulties here, fuckers. They just fucking dropped the whole fucking show, you cocksuckers. That's fucking ignorant.
Excited to announce next summer's
Come on,
listener
you
sea
fuckers.
cruise in July of 2026. Join us as
Fucking
we
morons.
cruise the Mediterranean. Our early booking sale pricing ends August 30th. Visit chrisplantcruise.com to book. At this Jackson Hole Summit kind of place, a beautiful, beautiful place, of course, with a hotel and a beautiful lake. It's awfully nice out there, though. It's hard to find a lousy place in Jackson Hole, which is the name of the valley. In the middle of the valley, there's the town of Jackson, where you might find the $1 Million Cowboy Bar, where the seats at the bar are leather saddles, Western saddles. It's a lot of fun, great place. Jackson Hole, Wyoming is wonderful, of course. But I digress. So the chair of the Federal Reserve Board, Jerome Powell, talking about today lowering interest rates. Word on the street, they're not saying it officially, but the Fed chair is there in Jackson Hole, and the word is that he's going to announce interest rates will drop, and that's good for the economy, and that's why the stock market is up more than 600 points this morning, the Dow Jones Industrials. So we got that going for us. That's not bad. Pretty good stuff, I've got to say. And the Dow now at 45,425.31. For those following the 0.31, you know, I think you can make a lot of money off that 0.31 stuff, can't you? But that's real good. Now it looks like the Dow is up 639, so it goes up, it goes down. You're supposed to, I think, buy low and then sell high. Is that the idea? I think that's the idea. All right, a great many stories to get to today. Let's see if we can get to some of the President Trump news from yesterday. He was very busy, and President Trump went and had a meeting with members of the police department of Washington, D.C. and the U.S. Park Police, and I'm guessing there are other federal law enforcement agencies there as well. Trump says he'll patrol D.C. with cops and military tonight. This is yesterday afternoon. As part of his crackdown on crime in the city. The Democrats are against cracking down on crime in the city because the criminals are Democrats, and they don't want a crackdown on Democrats. They want Democrats to commit crimes, so they defend the criminals in order to create more crime, because that's the Democrat Party. Now, President Trump told conservative radio show host Todd Starnes on Thursday he plans on tagging along with D.C. police and National Guard members as they patrol the Capitol this evening. Now, I was watching very closely from my perch, and I saw a lot of helicopter activity down very low over the city, over southeast D.C. and northeast D.C., and I thought perhaps the president was motoring around with law enforcement because there was one helicopter down at treetop level going back and forth, combing back and forth over the streets of Washington, and then another helicopter up much higher with, the bird's eye view. And I thought maybe the president's over there. But in the end, I think the president did not actually patrol. The police probably talked him out of it because, presidential motorcade travels, you have to shut down streets and intersections, and motorcycle police hopping, leapfrogging ahead to lock down intersections as the motorcade goes by. You got the Iranians trying to assassinate him. You got probably elements of the Russian gangster land trying to assassinate. You got Democrats all over the place, armed to the teeth and bloodthirsty as they are. And I'm thinking if I were the head of a security detail, I might ask him very politely and repeatedly to not put everybody in this situation. But nevertheless, he said, I'm going to be out tonight. This is what he said yesterday. I think the police and the military, of course, he wants to try to. So we're going to do a job. The National Guard is great. They've done a fantastic job. Said it was not immediately clear whether Trump planned to personally help apprehend suspects or clear homeless encampments. He wouldn't be doing that at night, probably. But who can say? We got a lot of those homeless encampments. The former reality TV star host who used to he liked to surprise appearances on TV to frame his political message. And President Trump yesterday saying he was going to go out with the police. And then I believe that he did not go out with the police last night, but for very practical reasons, I think as much as he might have liked to have gone out. Thursday marked 10 days since President Trump federalized the Metropolitan Police Department, that's the Washington, D.C. City Police Department, and called out the National Guard in response to a series of high-profile crimes in the district, including, well, you know, the list goes on and on. The assassinations of two Israeli embassy personnel, a member of the Doge team who was beaten to a bloody pulp by a gang of teens who are, you know, very often criminals, these teens. You know, you're a teenager until you're 19 years old, but you're a minor until you turn 18. Still a lot of violence, a lot of 15 and 16-year-olds shooting and killing people in Washington, D.C. because they're being raised by Democrats. And that's if they're being raised at all. So we've got that going for us. But never mind that. Also on Wednesday, Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth treated the National Guard members to lunch at Union Station in Washington, D.C. But President Trump wanted to get out with the police last night. Perhaps it didn't happen. As far as I know, it did not happen. But President Trump did go do a meet and greet with police yesterday. And maybe the thing that's making the most headlines is because our media is so filthy and ridiculous, is that Trump boasts he knows more about grass than anyone alive, because he's talking about restoring and making Washington, D.C. beautiful again, and the mall has been neglected for a long, long time, where we keep the monuments and where millions and millions of tourists go every year. And our government isn't good at much. Government becomes good at some things, but and the people at Mediaite say that President Trump talking about grass and knowing more than anyone alive is utterly bonkers. That's what they say. In his utterly bonkers speech to cops and military in D.C., there was nothing bonkers about any of it. It was fun and funny, and he was having a good time, and everybody was enjoying themselves. And he's talking about all the good stuff he's going to do in Washington. The Democrats want to keep crime as high as possible because that would be bad for Trump. Again, they paint themselves into these corners. Open borders, rather good for Democrats because it's bad for America and bad for Republicans. And under Trump trying to control the border, the Democrats want to bust it wide open and bring in as many illegal alien gang members from whatever beephole around the world they can possibly bring him in. The Democrat Party, they've painted themselves into a corner that child genital mutilation is good and that boys are girls if they say they're girls and men are women if they say they're women. And all of that is mental illness. They've got a Supreme Court Justice, Ketanji Brown Jackson, who doesn't know what a woman is. She's a woman, and she doesn't know what a woman is. They paint themselves into these corners. And now, if you want to fight crime, they want to fight you. So now, you know, talk about a 90-10 issue. This is, I think, a 99-1 issue. The 1% would be the criminals committing the crimes, and the Democrat Party has gotten into bed with them. They want to defend the criminals and the crime and fight against the police, who they want to defund and vilify and jail. And like the police officer in Minneapolis, they put in prison over there, St. George Floyd, who was stabbed 22 times in prison by a Democrat because the Democrats are not on the side of good. President Trump yesterday greeting the police and the National Guard.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be with you. You guys are doing a fantastic job, and gals doing an amazing job, and we appreciate it.
And gals.
The numbers are down like we wouldn't believe, but we believe it.
But we, like you wouldn't believe, but we believe it because we're looking at the numbers. We have the numbers. For a week in Washington, D.C., there has been not one murder. Not one Democrat has murdered anyone that we know of, unless, buried in the closet of, somebody's apartment. But not one murder. And everybody's astonished. Hey, not one murder. In Tokyo, I think there hasn't been a murder in 8 years. Washington, D.C., hey, a whole week without a Democrat shooting and killing somebody.
We're going to be not so much building, it's cleaning and fixing and redoing and putting brand new surfaces down on your roads and streets. And when people come in from the airport all the way to the Capitol, the White House, or any place else they go, and they're going to say, boy, this place is spotless. I've received more phone calls from people in the last 4 days than I ever have. I've been here now 4 years plus, but I've never received so many phone calls thanking me for what we've done in Washington, D.C. from people that haven't gone to a restaurant literally in 4 years.
Because they're afraid to come downtown because of all the crime. And, I was working with a friend last night, and she was headed out with her husband to go to La Diplomat on 14th Street in D.C. I work on 14th Street in the afternoon. And La Diplomat, where people have been shot, where the guy from Doge, Big Balls, they called, was beaten to a bloody pulp just very close to that restaurant. And I said to her, well, you should at least be safe going there tonight, because, and their headlines, here's the headline: DC has been murder-free week, a week. And that makes headlines as Attorney General Bondi touts 77 more arrests in federal takeover. The federal takeover of the federal city, which has been a federal district since it was created and never should have been given home rule. We should leave it to the federal government to run the District of Columbia. And somebody that's lived here for decades now, we don't need representation. It's the federal district. You don't want a super senator and a super governor, 2 super senators and a super governor, which is what the Democrats want because they want to corrupt everything. But DC has murder-free week, and that's a headline. 77 more arrests. Let's try for a month. Hey, Democrat, for how long have I been saying this? Stop shooting people. I've been saying that for a long time, haven't I? It's one of my mantras. I don't know if it's a good T-shirt or not, but maybe a bumper sticker in D.C. Probably not a good idea again. Stop shooting people. Just a thought, you guys. I've got more President Trump, and wait till I get to the grass, because that really has him upset. Hey, do you have cooking or grilling anxiety? A lot of people do, That moment of truth comes when everyone sits down at the table and you brace yourself as they prepare to cut into their steaks or their chicken. Did I just ruin $100 worth of beautiful steaks? Well, that's all changed with Chef IQ Sense. This is a great tool for people that cook food. It's the wireless cooking thermometer that turns you into a master chef immediately. It works for all kinds of cooking too: grilling, pan searing, roasting, everything. All forms of cooking delicious food. Incredibly easy to use. You just insert the sensor into your steak or your chicken, your fish, whatever you're cooking. Open the Chef IQ app and you choose how you want it cooked. You want it rare, a medium rare. It doesn't have to be all the same in the oven or on the grill either. You've got different probes and you want it well done, any preference you like. With multiple probes, everyone gets exactly what they want. Then you can sit back and relax. It sends you real-time updates. Tells you when to flip your steak or your chicken, take it off the grill, even how long to let it rest before you cut into it. Seriously, it's like having a culinary coach right there in your pocket, in your kitchen, in your backyard. No more guesswork for you. No more lid flipping and, dinner disasters. Chef IQ Sense. It's precision cooking for everyone. And trust me, you're going to wonder how you ever cooked without it. Right now, because we hang out together, you can get 15% off the entire website with the code PLANT at chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com. The code is PLANT. Yes, sir. Yeah, President Trump just getting warmed up there yesterday, and so much going on with him. And I try to get to as much of it as possible. We're at 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the new.
It's the $100,000 Lucky Draw at Mohawk Casino. Are you ready to make a match and win big? From July 1st through August 23rd, earn your weekly quick pick number every Monday or Tuesday when you earn just 100 points. Then come back for Saturday night drawings July 12th, 26th, and August 9th and 23rd for your shot at up to $100,000 cash. Match all 6 numbers to win the grand prize or win slot play starting with just one match. It's the $100,000 Lucky Draw, only at Akwesasne Mohawk Casino Resort, your everyday escape.
Choosing a new pharmacy isn't easy, but if you need to do so, the employee owners of Kinney Drugs hope you'll choose us. We've been taking care of our local community since 1903 when Bert Kinney opened our first store in Gouverneur, New York. In fact, we're still headquartered there today. Because we're employee owned, we don't answer to Wall Street. We answer to Main Street, the people we serve. And we've made it easy as 1, 2, 3 to transfer your prescriptions. Get started at KinneyDrugs.com or stop by today.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $200 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
When it's time to scale your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to grow the way you want, like all the way. Stack more sales with the best converting checkout on the planet. Track your cha-chings from every channel, right in one spot, and turn real-time reporting into big-time opportunities. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify. Start your free trial today.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX. Beautiful. Low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on Out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com. The used car leader.
Choosing a new pharmacy isn't easy, but if you need to do so, the employee owners of Kinney Drugs hope you'll choose us. We've been taking care of our local community since 1903, when Bert Kinney opened our first store in Gouverneur, New York. In fact, we're still headquartered there today. Because we're employee owned, we don't answer to Wall Street. We answer to Main Street, the people we serve. And we've made it easy as 1, 2, 3 to transfer your prescriptions. Get started at KinneyDrugs.com or stop by today.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Let's move! We have soccer practice, dance, and a play date.
Life moves fast, so every second counts, especially when it comes to big decisions like buying a car. That's why searching through Navy Federal's car buying service powered by TrueCar is a perfect place to start.
Thanks, Mom.
Navy Federal can help you find and finance the right vehicle so you can go wherever life takes you. Visit NavyFederal.org/TrueCar to learn more. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject to approval.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meet or beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
WMAL, making sense of the economy because it's your money and your retirement. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
President Trump is out of the White House again. He's at a museum in Washington, D.C. He's holding a press conference. We're keeping an eye on it for you. He's wearing a baseball cap that says Trump was right about everything. and that's fun. The Democrats are out committing crimes. Let's go to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Alan, calling from Chicago, Illinois. Alan, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris. You know, if you look at Chicago and compare it to D.C., population makeup is similar. In Chicago, 93% of the deaths, the homicides, are Black or Hispanic. Now, it's ironic. You're from Illinois. Illinois, Chicago, Cook County are Democrat. The Democrats are arguing in favor of what is occurring or indifferent to what's occurring. And it's pretty astounding. In Chicago, 85% of those who are dying are young Black men. Where's the outrage?
Right. Well, I got to tell you, Alan, I've been talking about this for years, for 15 years, for more than that. When I started doing radio 20 years ago, I was talking about the homicide rate in Washington, D.C. and the fact that, you know, if these were young white teenagers, this would be considered a national crisis and all the national news would have their anchormen there and satellite trucks. But because they're Black, the news media run by Democrats pay no attention. All the Democrat mayors, the Democrat members of Congress who scream and pound the table over everything with their machetes don't seem to give a flying hoot, do they, Alan? And I think that's been well established for years and years and years. They don't care about human life. They love death more than we love life. They're like Al-Qaeda.
This is the Chris Plant Show.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
Mail News at 10:30. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. Wall Street is booming this morning after Fed Chair Jerome Powell said in a speech the job market is on such shaky ground that the Fed may soon need to cut interest rates to support the economy. The Dow now up 713 points. The FBI searched the Bethesda home of former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton this morning looking for classified documents. Bolton has not been charged with any crimes, but FBI Director Kash Patel says cryptically online, no one's above the law. Bolton, a vocal Trump critic, has posted on X he doubts Russia and Ukraine will ever make peace, but adds that, quote, meetings will continue because Trump wants a Nobel Peace Prize. On the domestic front, the president also posted social media overnight that he's considering a, quote, complete and total federal takeover of the city. He accused Muriel Bowser of giving false and highly inaccurate data showing crime has been dropping in the city. He says if that continues, bad things will happen. Traffic and weather next.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Once you start to get serious, how long does it take to see results from your new workout routine? Experts we spoke to said best scenario, 2 to 4 weeks, but it could take a couple of months. How quickly you see results depends on a lot of things, whether you're a man or a woman, what kind of exercise you're doing, how consistently you're working out. You want to reach your goal sooner rather than later, you need to focus on higher intensity exercises, like running rather than yoga. Make small changes to your diet. That's going to add up, and that's going to be a lot more sustainable, rather than making sweeping changes that you're likely to give up on before you start to see results. And don't underestimate sleep. We talk about this all the time. Your willpower is so much stronger, and your cravings will be far fewer if you get quality rest, quality sleep every single night. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
And on this Friday, we'll take a look at 95 southbound, very slow from Route 1 and Woodbridge down to 123. After that, more delays as you head from Quantico into Stafford County down towards 610 with an accident on the shoulder. Then in Stafford County, there was an incident on southbound 95 at 630. Courthouse Road, the accident there cleared away, but it's very slowed down from Quantico. Westbound 50 in Maryland, right at the Beltway, the overturned tractor trailer, only the right merge lane is getting by. It's still very heavy from 704. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Sunny and 84 today at 77 at Reagan National. John Matthews, WMAL News.
Lowe's knows how to help you save this Labor Day. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, get an additional 20% off select major appliances, like the GE front load washer with ultra fresh vent system and odor block. Shut the door on front loader odor for a clean, fresh wash. Shop GE appliances this Labor Day at Lowe's. See associate for more details. Selections vary by location. While supplies last, exclusions apply. Valid 8/21 through 9/10.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $300 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meter beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
All right, President Trump, I told you we're keeping our ear to the ground for you, and we have President Trump at the Museum of the White House, which I'm sure is an excellent museum, and the Museum of the White House, the People's House. Is that really what it's called? Is that the White House Visitors Center, the White House Historical Association? As I'm familiar with most of the museums, I can't say I'm familiar with that. But that's what it is being called. And President Trump is taking on the Smithsonian Institution, all the museums on the mall, where lefties sunk their teeth into exhibits and make everything anti-American and whiny and complaining, and we're a terrible country. Even when we're great, we're bad because liberals, spit on everything. So we got that going. But let's get back to President Trump talking about John Bolton and the FBI raid on John Bolton's home in Bethesda, Maryland, in Montgomery County, Maryland, just across the line from Washington, D.C. into Maryland, up Wisconsin Avenue and Connecticut Avenue, and along the Potomac River. The Montgomery County, Maryland, is to the east of the Potomac River, and Montgomery County is right there on the D.C. border. And that's where a lot of Washington people live. Fairness, you might rather live in Virginia for a whole lot of reasons. But John Bolton lives there. And President Trump was asked, he was talking and holding a press conference, and he was asked, hey, the FBI raided the home of your former national security advisor, John Bolton, and this morning. And, kind of a big deal. And then according to reports, they went to his offices as well. And it has to do with classified documents and using classified information in his book, John Bolton's book. John Bolton had worked for President Trump. He worked in the W. Bush White House, and he worked in the first Trump White House. And then apparently they didn't remain close personal friends. And John Bolton has spent a lot of time taking shots at President Trump, including in his book. And it hasn't gone very well. Now, the FBI raid, reportedly, the New York Post and Vince Colonnese saying that the raid has to do with classified documents, classified information, inappropriate use. Remember, Hillary Clinton did that all over the place, and she walked away from all that because this is a very corrupt city. And I've got to say, this morning when I saw this happening, one of my first responses, and I got a meme right away from a friend, and say, wait a minute, John Bolton's house has just been raided. Let's look at Barack Obama's house. Talk about corruption in classified documents and abusing the intelligence community to corrupt a presidential election. And Hillary Clinton, the list is too long to even begin there. I only have a 3-hour show. John Penitentiary Face Brennan, right? The Communist Party voting John Penitentiary Face Brennan, CIA director and communist under Barack Obama, who was mentored by a communist named Frank Marshall Davis. James Clapper, what about a raid on his home? Rosenstein from the White House, what about him? Honestly, the deputy director at the FBI, Andrew McCabe, who's now in the employ of CNN, I believe, right? And let's raid his house. And all these other people, James Comey, the now former FBI director as well, Lisa Page and Peter Strzok at the FBI, the lawyer James Baker at the Justice Department, chief legal counsel, Bill Priestap, also from the FBI, honestly, these people, Strzok and Page, why not raid these people's homes? All the abuses of power that are obvious versus John Bolton. But in any event, President Trump was asked about, and maybe those are still to come. And it's kind of interesting politically. I can't quite put my finger on why we're seeing this today, but it's interesting that the media are going to attack Trump anyway, and they're doing it all over the place. Oh, this is the revenge presidency. Well, if you mean the accountability presidency, if you mean people breaking the law who are not held accountable, and they do it in broad daylight in front of anyone, they publish the violation of law in their books and go on TV and brag about it. If that's what you're talking about, then yeah, the revenge presidency. But how about all these people that have broken the law and have abused their power and abused the CIA and abused the Department of Justice and abused the FBI and abused the IRS for political reasons? What about all of that? Honestly, Jonathan Karl is out there saying it's the retribution presidency. Really? Hey, John Karl, maybe you should have been upset when George Papadopoulos, a Naval Academy grad, was being spied on with 4 illegal warrants, 4 corrupt lie-in warrants that were fed to the FISA courts, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Courts, and they spied on everybody in Trump's inner circle. The raid on Roger Stone's home at pre-dawn with a CNN camera crew in tow. How about the IRS targeting patriot groups and Tea Party groups? Any Jonathan Karl, anything on that? The revenge tour, My Rumpus. The Democrats launched a revenge tour against President Trump. They didn't have anything to avenge. He just came down the escalator. They were so terrified that they started abusing the FBI and the Justice Department. And honestly, Comey going and briefing President-elect Trump in New York and then leaking everything to the press. And he said, oh, no, I was just writing notes in my diary and my personal laptop. It was an FBI laptop in the back of an armored FBI limousine in New York City on his way to an FBI jet to come back to Washington. And they're abusing their power all over the place. Suddenly CNN and who was it? The Daily Beast or somebody, they've got all the stuff that they need from the FBI director. Honestly. So the FBI, the IRS, and Lois Lerner targeting the political enemies of the Barack Obama White House. And all of that's fine. And then they say, oh, that's been litigated. That's all public. We've already covered that. With no consequences for anyone. They riot at the White House for 3 days. Nobody gets sentenced to a day in jail. Set fire to the Church of the Presidents. Not one night in prison. No sentences for anybody. Now, if you pray, you're a 75-year-old Catholic grandmother, you pray outside an abortion mill in Washington, D.C., where they're killing all the black babies. You pray and they give you 2 years in prison, which the Democrats did. But you riot at the White House, force the evacuation of the president. Nobody gets sentenced to anything. That's filthy third world, left-wing, communist-style corruption, and the Democrats have normalized it. Just saying. And Jonathan Karl, who I know, is at a retribution presidency. They have no memory for anything that happens under Democrat administrations, the Biden administration, the Obama-Biden administration, what Hillary Clinton did, abusing her power, and they have no memory of any of that. But then you have Ambassador Bolton, who allegedly is accused of, apparently, violating laws having to do with classified materials, classified documents. And now suddenly the news media is going to rush to the defense of John Bolton because he turned on Trump. So the media will say, well, he turned on Trump. We're going to have to take his side because, we are the jihad against Trump. We're suicide bombers. We self-immolate. We massacre police and then kill ourselves. We're Democrats. We firebomb the Jewish governor's mansion. We attack Jews marching in Colorado with fire bombs. The Democrat Party is a violent criminal enterprise. President Trump was asked about the John Bolton raid this morning.
No, I don't know about it. I saw it on television this morning. I'm not a fan of John Bolton. He's a real sort of a lowlife. When I hired him, he served a good purpose because, as you know, he was one of the people that forced Bush to do the ridiculous bombings in the Middle East. Bolton, he wants to always kill people.
He wants to always kill people. He has been labeled as a neoconservative, a neocon, which have been characterized as being too eager to use the U.S. military in a variety of situations. And John Bolton, neocon, mad bomber, wants to bomb country after country. President Trump called him a lowlife, said that he shouldn't be tried. He said he didn't know anything about it except what he had seen on television. President Trump being asked about the raid on John Bolton's home.
He's very bad at what he does, but he worked out great for me because every time he doesn't talk, he's like a very quiet person, except on television. If you could say something bad about Trump, he'll always do that. But he really doesn't talk. He's quiet. And I'd walk into a room with him with a foreign country, and the foreign country would give me everything because they said, oh, no, they're going to get blown up because John Bolton's there.
Because he's going to get blown up because John Bolton's there. Fun. He's, he's always, he builds something funny in, even when you're talking about pretty serious stuff. President Trump talking about the raid on John Bolton. And he didn't say, yeah, I asked for it. Yeah, good, they got him. He said, all I know is I haven't been briefed on it. All I know is what I've seen on TV. The FBI made the decision. The investigation had been shut down under the Biden administration, reportedly for political reasons. Why would they shut down an FBI investigation of John Bolton during the Biden administration? Well, maybe they thought that if they pursued the case against John Bolton, that it would be helpful to Trump. And they were in the business of using the FBI to hurt Trump and the Justice Department to hurt Trump. And wait a minute, here's a Bolton guy. Here's a Trump guy, John Bolton, and he needs to. But if the Democrats running the FBI and the Justice Department under Joe Biden decided to drop it, it's because they thought it wouldn't hurt Trump. They thought it would help Trump. And so they dropped it. And that's the insinuation is that's why the Democrat Party politics led to dropping the investigation into John Bolton's abuses of classified documents and classified information.
He's not a smart guy, but he could be a very unpatriotic guy. I mean, we're going to find out. I know nothing about it. I just saw it this morning. They did a raid.
Do you expect DOJ to brief you on this?
Yeah, they'll brief me.
Yeah, they'll brief me on it. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. Yes, sir. We've got all kinds of things going on now. The president is out and about, and again, the People's House exhibit. Left the White House visiting the People's House exhibit, and the press pool, that is the travel pool, as it's called. They travel in the motorcade with the president, go to the events, got one TV camera and a number of reporters and taking questions there. The motorcade stopped at, I guess it's right at 17th Street, the People's House exhibit, and the president, of course, held a press conference because every time he stops somewhere, he holds a press conference, unlike Joe Biden, who hasn't held as many press conferences as 5 years as Donald Trump has in the last 5 days, probably. Isn't that amazing? And President, I believe, going to the Kennedy Center today as well, because there's a lot going on there. Kennedy Center getting more money than ever before, literally getting more money than ever before. President Trump trying to spruce it up, have them do things that aren't all, transgender, anti-American theater, as the Democrats love to do. But remarkable stuff. And the president taking questions is just amazing. Took questions for 15 minutes, and he was asked about the Governor Lisa Cook, Governor Lisa Cook. I'll fire her if she doesn't resign. Lisa Cook, isn't that good? On John Bolton. I don't know about it, he said. Saw it on television this morning. Not a fan. He's sort of a lowlife. He's a very quiet person, except on television. If he can say something bad about Trump. Not a smart guy. Could be a very unpatriotic guy. We're going to find out. Sure. That's it. And then he was asked about the crime numbers in Washington, D.C. And, we've been told there are 2 whistleblowers in the Washington, D.C. Police Department who are saying that the crime numbers have been faked, deflated by the Democrats, ordering the police to call a shooting an accidental discharge and things like that. And President Trump asked about the crime in Washington, D.C. Said they're fake numbers. The crime numbers need to be fixed. And he said he's going to ask Congress for $2 billion to clean up D.C., talking about going after crime, cleaning up the mall, having new lawn. I've got that coming up for you as well. Fighting crime. The Democrats are fighting for crime. They love crime. They want more crime. Isn't that amazing? You're a Democrat party. So you got that. And $2 billion to clean up D.C. Talking about the graffiti. Nothing says ghetto, nothing says slum like graffiti all over the buildings in your neighborhood. And the Democrats love that. They turn graffiti guys into heroes. Cool Disco Dan was a famous D.C. graffiti artist who graffitied everything around the city. The Washington Post wrote glowing profiles of Cool Disco Dan, the graffiti guy. Hey, I want to talk to you about living a better digital life, on your laptop and your desktop and your phones and all that digital stuff online and everything with one of our newest partners, WebRoot. WebRoot is great. I chose WebRoot because of their total protection product. Now, WebRoot's all in one package and offers plans for individuals, allowing coverage up to 5 devices just for you, up to 10 devices with a family package, and they've got you covered no matter what. WebRoot's coverage includes antivirus protection, identity theft protection, VPN backup, and a whole lot more. And listen, it's for your whole family. We know that the kids are using the iPads and the phones, and grandma's got an iPad and a phone, and it doesn't matter whether you're a toddler, a student, or a senior, they've got you covered no matter what. WebRoot allows my best girl and I to live a better digital life, and that's why I know I can recommend that you do the same. Right now, you can get 50% off of WebRoot's Total Protection Plan or WebRoot's Essentials Plan when you go to webroot.com/plant. That's PLANTE. Again, get 50% off WebRoot's Total Protection Plan, WebRoot Essentials, when you go to webroot.com/plant. Yes, sir. Yeah. I've got more President Trump and talking about the lawn, and the media is even attacking him because he wants the lawn on the mall to look nice. And having built all these golf courses, he knows a thing or two about it. But the media just attacks. And then, maybe they'll self-immolate.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. we offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meter beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint project, saving is at the top of your list. That's why when you shop today, you can buy one, get one free. Select Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. One coat coverage interior paints via rebate. Shop these deals in-store or online today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at the time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 8/21 through 9/3.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX, beautiful, low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
If you're managing your family's back-to-school schedule across multiple calendars and sticky notes, I have a game-changing idea for you. Put it all in a Skylight calendar. Skylight is a smart touchscreen calendar that brings visual structure and color coding to your family's schedules, tasks, and lists, all in one sleek digital display. Right now, Skylight is offering $30 off their 15-inch calendars by going to skylightcal.com/talk. That's SKYLIGHTCAL.com/talk for $30 off your 15-inch calendar.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Ever wish buying a home was as easy as clicking your heels 3 times? At Northern Credit Union, we know there's no place like home. We offer first-time buyer programs with no closing costs, VA, USDA, seasonal, new construction, and many other loan options. If you're dreaming of home ownership, Northern will help you get into your new home in 3 clicks of your heels. Getting approved is quick and easy, and with our meter beat rate guarantee, you know you're getting the lowest rate possible. Our team is here to help you along the yellow brick road to home ownership with honest advice, personalized service, and support every step of the way. Click your heels or just call or text, because at Northern, there's no place like home. Northern Credit Union, mortgage magic in the real world. Call or text 315-782-0155 or apply online at mynorthern.com. Federally insured, NCUA, equal housing opportunity.
I'm Kiana, and I leveled up my business with Shopify. Once I figured out that Shopify was a thing, I never turned back. I can create a site with my eyes closed. Shopify thinks ahead of us, and it thinks about the customer more than anything. Every day I'm thinking about some other new business, but Shopify is doing it to me because it's so easy to use. It's like I can't stop. I'm addicted.
Start your free trial at Shopify.com.
WMAL, making sense of the market, because generational wealth doesn't build itself. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
President Trump talking about firing a member of the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, Lisa Cook, and Jerome Powell Federal Reserve, talking about lowering interest rates. I talked about it here almost 2 hours ago now. MSDNC is catching up to what I told you a couple of hours ago. Let's go to the telephones, Michael. Let's go to Doug calling from Clifton, Virginia. Douglas, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Thanks for putting me on, Chris. You're doing a great job, as usual.
Thank you, Doug.
Well, the way I hear the press and the Democrats, but I repeat myself, are slamming Trump in terms of his foreign policy and only saying that he's interested in getting a Nobel Peace Prize. Well, I see this almost like Hollywood elite that only seem to be interested in who gets an Oscar, but the American public just want to see a good performance and a good movie. And I don't think Trump gives a flying flip about whether he gets the Nobel Peace Prize or not. He just wants a strong America and peace in the world.
He is a peacemonger, and he's been a peacemonger since he came down the escalator, really, all those years ago. 3 peace deals between Israel and Arab nations in his first term. He almost had Saudi Arabia recognizing Israel, and had he stayed in the White House and not had that chicanery and Joe Biden getting more votes than any candidate in the history of the country. Isn't that absurd? All those mail-out ballots that they harvested and all that stuff. But he is a peacemonger. And I got to tell you, Doug, I was talking when I opened up this morning about President Trump getting the Nobel Peace Prize for bringing peace to Washington, D.C., which is much deadlier than Afghanistan was. For years and years, the war in Afghanistan took fewer American lives by a long shot than Democrats took just in Washington, D.C., with our 68 square miles.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9.
News now. WMAL News at 11. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell today opened the door ever so slightly to lowering a key interest rate in the coming months, citing uncertainty in the economy.
GDP growth has slowed notably in the first half of this year to a pace of 1.2%, roughly half the 2.5% pace in 2024. The decline in growth has largely reflected a slowdown in consumer spending.
Powell gave no hint on the timing of a move, but his words were enough to send Wall Street flying. The Dow right now is up 891 points.
We are going to make D.C. totally safe. When people come from Iowa, Indiana, all of the beautiful places, and they're not going to go home in a body bag. They're not going home in a coffin.
President Trump in the past hour touting the success of his crackdown on crime in D.C.
There have been no murders in the last week, and nobody can remember the last time that that's happened. And there won't be murders because all the thugs are hiding, or they're being sent back to their countries, or they're in jail.
Actually, the city had a 16-day streak without homicides, running from late February to mid-March of this year. Part of what Mayor Muriel Bowser has claimed has been a notable drop in crime over the past 2 years. President Trump overnight on Truth Social threatened a complete and total federal takeover of the city if Bowser doesn't immediately stop giving what, in his view, are false and highly inaccurate crime figures. New details are emerging about this morning's raid of former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton's home and office in Bethesda.
We're told that CIA Director John Ratcliffe worked with FBI Director Patel to provide limited access to some U.S. intelligence that resulted in this morning's raid. Now, we're told that this is likely related to Bolton potentially, allegedly, I should say, knowingly and willfully mishandling classified documents while preparing to write his book. This was after he was fired as President Trump's national security advisor during the first administration.
Fox News' David Spunt. A Salvadoran national who spent more than a decade living illegally in Maryland may return there as soon as today, but for how long?
A judge may order the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from a Tennessee jail today. He's being held as he waits to be tried on federal human smuggling charges. He's the man deported to El Salvador earlier this year. He was returned to the U.S. when officials found he'd been stopped while driving a vehicle with 9 passengers. That's when he got hit by a human smuggling charge. Now he's supposed to wait for his trial at his home in Maryland, but ICE may deport him again. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Former paraeducator at a Stafford County school has taken a 10-year sentence plea agreement after he was caught taking upskirt pic photos of children in class. 57-year-old Eric Van Orden used to work at Conway Elementary School until a 10-year-old student told his mom he saw Van Orden use his phone to take a picture under the skirt of a girl. Police found about 20 pictures and videos on Van Orden's phone of several students. He'd been facing 10 felony charges before he took the plea deal. The Dow is up 863 points. NASDAQ's up 435. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
It's sunshine savings at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Plenty of late model vehicles with low miles on the lot right now, like a loaded 2016 Lincoln MKX, only $15,999, or a 2020 Acura TLX. Beautiful. Low miles, just $27,999. A 2018 Toyota 4Runner, 59,000 miles, would look perfect in your driveway. Hey, the sun is shining at Widget Auto Sales on Out of Washington Street, and see them online at widgetautosales.com, the used car leader.
Dude, guess how much I pay for $1 million term life insurance policy? I don't know, at least $100? Nope. I got coverage through Ethos for around $69 a month, and it's all online. Really? Wow, I need that for my family. Yeah, you do. That way, if something happens to you, they're protected. Ethos, life insurance made easy. Get your free quote today at ethos.com/start. That's ethos.com/start. Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for a 40-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And just like you, he relies on Grainger to help. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Coming over to Loudoun County now, there was an accident on Route 50. It is closed in both directions, east and westbound, between Gum Spring Road and Watson Road. Until further notice, nobody's getting by the accident there. Around the Beltway, the outer loop is still slow from River Road across the American Legion Bridge down to the construction at Georgetown Pike along the left side. 95 in Virginia on this Friday. Expect to find it slow from Route 1 down to 123. And then from Triangle down to Centerport Parkway as you head into Stafford County. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Lots of sunshine moving through the afternoon. Daytime high 80 to 85 degrees. It's cool overnight. Temperatures tomorrow warm up nicely into the 80s with lots of sunshine, partly sunny with a chance for storms on Sunday. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rudin in the First Alert Weather Center.
78 degrees at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
If fascism ever comes to America, it'll come in the name of liberalism. And what is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation. Well, isn't this the liberal philosophy?
President Ronald Wilson Reagan, the great American president, man that opened so many millions and millions of eyes decades ago, including my own. Who are the fascists? Well, maybe the guys firebombing the Jewish governor's house, firebombing the pro-Israel marchers in Colorado, terrorizing Jewish students on college campuses, exterminating 40% of the black population in the womb, carjacking people by the thousands, fighting in favor of more crime and against anyone that would fight for less crime. You see, they've got Kilmar Abrego Garcia. They're trying to have him released from custody today. You know, the MS-13 Salvadoran wife beating, baby mama beating, human trafficking, human smuggler that the Democrats, I think, want to run for Congress, don't they? I mean, they love these, like Luigi Mangione shoots a man in the back and kills him on the sidewalks of New York, and the Democrat Party makes him into a hero. They made a hero in Washington, D.C. out of the guy that threw the Subway sandwich. Subway keeps getting free promos from this. The Subway sandwich is like, Chicago, Juicy Smollett going out for a Subway sandwich at 3 o'clock in the morning. Sure he was. And they lie about everything. And the sandwich throwing guy who threw a sandwich at a federal police officer in uniform from 1 foot away from them, ran away in his flip-flops and his pink Izod shirt with the polo shirt with the collar turned up. These are the heroes of the Democrat Party. They got posters of him around D.C. now because they love crime. They're anti-police. They're pro-violence. They're the left. They're not liberals. And they love Kilmore Abrego Garcia. CNN is very excited. Could be released from criminal custody Friday. Why? He's anybody aware of this? Remember what John Kennedy said, Senator John Kennedy said, illegal immigration is illegal, he said cleverly. See, he knows. But CNN's very excited that Abrego Garcia, they call him Kilmore for short, could be released from custody today, Friday. And CNN couldn't be more excited about it. They got the glowing pictures, not a picture of his terrified wife, afraid that MS-13 is going to come and pummel her if she says anything bad about him. And he has pummeled her himself repeatedly, at least 2 restraining orders, 2 separate incidents. And CNN's excited. Kilmore Abrego Garcia could be released from criminal custody as soon as Friday. That's today. The latest developments in a dramatic legal saga. It's a dramatic legal saga. He's an illegal alien gang member beating his baby mama, then marrying her in prison while he's in prison. She had to go to prison to marry him, but then they let her go. And the Democrats, they love wife beating illegal alien and baby mama before they were married. He was beating her then, first restraining order then. They love it. And CNN says, surrounding the wrongly deported Maryland father of 3 little bastards, and the unbelievable stuff. Abrego Garcia has for months been behind bars in Tennessee since he was returned to the United States from El Salvador. The Democrats were fighting to get him returned and freed on the streets so that he could commit more crimes and engage in more human trafficking and, beat the baby mama. And then returned from El Salvador, where he was unlawfully deported in March. Now they have 2 sentences here. And in both sentences, surrounding the wrongly deported Maryland father of 3. Then the next sentence, returned to the U.S. from El Salvador, where he was unlawfully deported in March to face human smuggling charges. No big deal, just human trafficking, slavery in the 21st century. The Democrats are the party of slavery and the bullwhip and the plantation, and you know how they are. 2 federal judges in Nashville have turned down a request from federal prosecutors for him to remain locked up while he awaits trial on the charges. Just human trafficking. Never mind that. And I guess the restraining order is still in place if he comes back to Maryland. Can he go near his baby mama? Or are they still afraid that he's going to beat her again? But one of the judges paused her release order last month for 30 days. That pause is expected to expire on Friday. The Democrats are really hoping to have him loose on the streets, the illegal alien gang member. His deportation earlier this year, they can't get away from this, and the administration's protracted battle against judges who demanded officials work to bring him back to the U.S. became a flashpoint in the White House's controversial effort to carry out an unprecedented deportation campaign, not true, as well as its continued battle with the federal judiciary. You mean Obama and Biden judges who are freeing every gang member, every illegal alien to be loose on the streets of the United States so we can have more crime. But that's your Democrat Party. And they're really hoping that Kilmore Abrego Garcia will be loose again. And then I guess they'll get a private jet for him to come back to Maryland. Because you may remember they call him a Maryland man. And Chris Van Hollen, the Democrat senator from Maryland, going down to El Salvador to have a margarita with him in prison, and they were touching and pawing each other. I think it was kind of creepy, but that's your Democrat Party. Aren't they something? Yes, they are. Man, oh man, a Shevitz. The Democrats are trying very hard in California to have the parent-killing Menendez brothers released from prison on parole. And yesterday, one of the brothers, the first brother to go before the parole board, was denied parole. And Democrats are angry. They might have to riot. They might have to firebomb Jewish homes or something, which they are in the habit of doing. California, Fox News Channel. California denies Eric Menendez parole. It's Eric with a K. It should be Eric KKK, shouldn't it? Eric Menendez parole as DA slams self-defense claims. Brother Lyle faces separate hearing. California board denied the release of Eric Menendez, and they did approve the release from prison. This is true, of Sirhan Sirhan, who in 1968 shot and killed Bobby Kennedy, then a U.S. senator running for president, killed him. The Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, California. Never mind that. Eric Menendez, one of the two brothers convicted in the 1989 shotgun slaying of their parents in Beverly Hills, was denied parole by a California review board on Thursday in his first appearance before the board. The board will now consider whether his brother Lyle should be set free in his own parole hearing on Friday. That's today. Lyle is set to appear before the parole board by way of video teleconference from Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego. That's German, San Diego, German, at 8:30 a.m. local time. So that is in about 15 minutes, 17 minutes here that it'll begin. His case will likely be heard by different commissioners than the commissioners who heard his brother's case. That's grounds for appeal right there, I suspect. Isn't that amazing? The California Board of Parole hearings denial of parole for Eric Menendez marks a significant development in the decades-long case that drew international attention, with the brothers' televised trial becoming one of the most infamous of the 1990s. Eric Menendez, now 54 years old, has spent more than 30 years behind bars, He did, use a shotgun with his brother to murder their father. And then mom, hey, there's mom. Let's not forget her. Let's kill her with 12-gauge shotguns too. Not a happy story by any stretch. But the Democrat Party, they think those guys should really be free. Shouldn't they? Let's free the Menendez brothers. They killed their parents. Just wonderful stuff. Womp, womp, womp. So we got that going. Now, the family of the Menendez brothers, they have family members that they didn't kill with 12-gauge shotguns way back then. And then they claimed much later, our dad was mean to us sexually or something. And everybody that knew them said, that doesn't make any sense at all. But never mind that. They came up with that much later. So the family of the Menendez brothers, they say, while we respect the decision, today's outcome was, of course, disappointing, and not what we had hoped. We will continue to stand by him and hold to the hope that he is able to return home soon. It's nice that family are sticking up for him. That's kind of nice, right? The Los Angeles County District Attorney is a guy named Nathan Hochman. Nathan Hochman said, the board correctly determined that Eric Menendez's actions speak louder than words. And that is his conduct in prison. Apparently, he's a less than ideal inmate, a less than model inmate in prison where he's been for decades now. His actions speak louder than words, and that his conduct in prison and current mentality demonstrates that he still poses an unreasonable risk of danger to the community. That's what Nathan Hochman, the Los Angeles County District Attorney, had to say. Right? Then Eric Menendez said, step by step, my mom had shown she was united with my dad. Well, they were married and the parents of children living in Beverly Hills, and everything was fine as far as everybody could tell around them. Step by step, and it's like slowly I turn, step by step. My mom had shown she was united with my dad, and he's the one that they vilified, right? On that night, I saw them as one person. Had she not been in the room, maybe it would have been different. I wish to God I did not do that. He wishes to God that he did not do that. Isn't that great? And the parole commissioner said, the manner and the motive for the killings do have some weight in aggravation. The killing of your mother especially showed a lack of empathy and reason. Sure, we got that going for us. So there, and I'm guessing since one, but it's a different parole board. That is a different group of people that are going to be sitting in judgment. And again, Sirhan had been granted parole by a parole board in California. And so he was supposed to have been released, according to the parole board. But Governor Newsom, who calls himself what? GCN. Right. And pretty amazing stuff for Sirhan. Yeah. And the headline from back then, this is 2022. Governor Newsom grants executive clemency, reverses parole decision for Sirhan. Because the parole board had said, let him go. And you need the governor's signature. He hasn't given it yet. Let's take a phone call, Michael. Let's go to Mike calling from beautiful Southern Maryland. Michael, you're on the Chris Plante Show.
Hey, Chris, long time, no talk. I think we're going about these boys in the girls' locker room wrong. I think what should happen is the minute he drops his drawers, all the girls should get together, call the police, have him arrested for exposing himself. The police will come. He'll say, I'm a girl. They'll say, not with that, you're not. They'll arrest him and bring the parents in and say, we're going to put him on a stet, which means if he's a good boy for the next 6 months, everything goes away. But if he commits another crime, especially exposing himself, we're going to arrest him. We're going to charge him. He's going to have a criminal record as a sex offender for the rest of his dumb life. And maybe you ought to take your child and not literally, but maybe you ought to straighten your child out. Have a nice day.
Yeah, well, I tell you, in Virginia right now, they've got the Loudoun County schools where the schools have suspended a boy, in fact, 2 boys, when a young woman came into the boys' locker room at the high school saying, I'm a boy, but really she's a girl. And she was making video of the naked boys in the locker room. And when the boys objected, and it's illegal, by the way, for you to go in and make videos in a locker room at a high school and where everybody's naked. But she, claiming to be he, did exactly that. And the school in Loudoun County is punishing the 2 boys that complained about it. So the problem here, I've got to say, is Democrats, Michael, isn't it?
People, Democrats, same. Yeah, I'm 70. I just turned 76. I've been watching this for all of my life, and I'm still befuddled. I don't understand the thinking of these people at all. They're like normal people with most of their brains knocked out.
Well, your problem is that you are a normal person, and you know what normal is, and that is the hiccup there. See, that's really the problem. Michael?
Yeah, great talking to you. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, common sense isn't. Remember that, thanks to the Democrat Party. Man, oh, Manischewitz. Hey, a lot of people have cooking or grilling anxiety that you're going to ruin everything. The moment of truth when everybody sits down at the table and gets the knives and the forks ready, and you're thinking, did I just ruin $100 worth of beautiful steaks? Well, that's all changing with Chef IQ Sense. Chef IQ Sense. It's the wireless cooking thermometer that turns you into a master chef, and it works for everything that you're cooking, grilling, pan-searing, roasting, on the barbecue. Everything you're making makes it easy. You just insert the sensor, and you get several of them with the package into your steak, your chicken, your fish, whatever it is you're cooking and eating, your delicious food. You open the Chef IQ app, and you choose how you want it cooked for yourself, for your best girl. You want it rare for you and medium for her? No problem. Well done for the kids. Any preference is accommodated. Multiple probes. Everybody gets exactly what they want from the food that's being cooked. Then you can sit back and relax. It sends you real-time updates, tells you when it's time to flip your food, take it off the heat, even how long to let it rest on the counter before you cut into it. Seriously, it's like having a culinary coach in your pocket, in your kitchen, in your backyard. No more guessing for you. No more flipping the lid and checking over and over again.
Well, since I know you're listening, Patrick Rowe, I'm pretty sure, because you like Wiggin, you have to. All right. Say that you don't spam. You block me in Vegas chat, and then you post at me. So I don't know who has you blocked. I know who doesn't have you blocked, because I know who responds to your stuff.
There's a geezer walking down the street drinking straight out of a big wine bottle. There's some hot chick driving fast down a fucking Nissan fucking 300 ZX.
And you spam the chat. You post me, you do it in JC's. People said they blocked you because of what you do. You're spamming my name in JC's chat. Fluff Nugget blocked you, they blocking you. And they will block on the other. They don't care if they, if they don't see you, they don't give a shit. You're an idiot. And once again, you go to Alpesh Patel's chat to cry about Billy Hayden. How come you don't open your own chat? I'll come up on your panel.
Yeah, that's back.
Yeah, I was just there. It wasn't very long ago, Patrick. And Alpesh is back, so who knows if fucking that dickweed will jump back up on his panel. I feel awful hungry, and I just had breakfast.
Oh, it's 4:20. Oh, that was all right. It's 4:25. I must have been out there at 4:20. Smoking a joint. Perfect timing, wasn't it? Yeah, mate.
Says he blocks spammers as he spams my name, spelling it Billy and then Gaden, Billy Gaden. But I'm the spammer. Blocks me if he knows it's my account. The dumb fucker doesn't realize I come into that chat and he doesn't know it's me. You're fucked. Yeah, fuck you, Wiggin. You got something to say, Wiggin? Come on in here and say it. I'll let you say it. We know what you're going to say. You're going to tell me you get your name out of my cum-soaked mouth, right? Hey, Patrick Rowe, you want to talk about red spots on my face? Have you ever seen Angie? She's got blemishes. I call her pizza face. She got madder than hell at me. She's made streams. She's done streams fucking crying about, my haters. Oh, Billy's a racist. As you sit there and you go along with everything JC does. What a fucking hypocrite. Fucking hypocrites. Fuck you, JC. The fuck do you think you are?
The accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single look.
Oh, Lucas is having a field day with this. You got Monica. Monica thinks you love me, Patrick Rowe. No, Wiggin, because I have something I have to do, so I'm leaving here in a couple minutes. So I'm going to be shutting this down. You ain't got you ain't man enough to come up here on my panel and take me on. You need home field advantage. You can't go to a visitor's field and fucking, do some trolling, because you're hateful. You want to make this personal? Fine. You've made it personal. You got fucking skin cancer on your forehead and your girlfriend rubbing her wart on it, trying to make it better. Patrick, I gotta go. Patrick, New York. I got 9 people watching me right now, but I have to go. Yeah, I do. I have to go. Wish everybody a happy Friday. If I'm not back at 6, then you'll know that I'm busy doing something. I might be back sooner than that. All right. I might come back, right? I got things I got to do. So I'll be back.